Hey everybody, we're here at Fish Alliance in San Pedro. Today I'm going over topwater fishing the slug for all the local lakes and ponds in the LA area. Come along as I come rig up some slugs. Follow me. I wanted to cover early morning pond fishing, and this can be, at a local lake like Castaic. I've caught a bunch of bass there on this technique, the topwater walking the dog, specifically for the slug. So one of the rigs I wanted to cover for local lakes and ponds in the LA area, and this is probably good a lot of different places, but these are specific places that are near and dear to us, such as Castaic Lake, Alondra Park, and El Dorado Park. Early morning top water is really where the slug will come in handy. The slug is the original top water walk the dog bait, and then it moved over to the fluke and then the various sizes from there. There's a few different things that you can actually do with the slug to variance the speed as well as the look, just to make it really what your fishery needs. If you wanted to, you could cut the tail of the slug just like this, right down the middle, to give you a fluke-like tail cut. You can walk the dog that way. So the nice part about this is when you cut the tail, it really adds a lot of just added action, but it also kind of changes the style of the bait. Now, in order to split that tail and get that iconic fluke-like split, I put a little bit of plastic right in the groove, right where the end of that cut is. As you can see, it now holds that split. You can super glue that in, you can burn it in, you can even mend it in. The 4-inch slug fits perfectly on the 4/0 hook. Now, one of the things you can do is you can also go to a 5 or you can go to a 3 if you're looking to increase the weight or decrease the weight just for that top water. Maybe you need it to slow down a little bit, you want to cut, pause, you want that extra pause, you can go to a 3. If you want to sink a little bit faster, you can go to a 5. What the 3/0 will do is add extra weight to the head of the slug, which will allow it to actually glide a little bit further, but will also give it a little bit extra action. I tend to start with the 4/0 just because it's the middle ground right there, and then I will move either north or south of that number. You can pulsate the rod for that iconic top water walk the dog action at local lakes and ponds and all that stuff. Early morning for that top water bite. If you're looking for something with a little bit more action and potentially a little bit more play, you can move to the double rig, which you can use anywhere from Castaic and around the world, but you can also fish this in the saltwater applications. Saltwater applications for this is spotties along seawalls. So those shallower water locations, so if you're fishing shallow water, eel beds, clam beds, eelgrass, and just retaining walls and docks, those more shallow water areas, this is something that will add a lot of action, a lot of play, but will also keep you out of the rocks and any structure. So the action on these is they're going to start crisscrossing with the double rig, with every little flip that you do with your rod, which is a ton of action in very shallow water. Ton of fun to see those spotties just absolutely come out of the rocks, attack it aggressively, and turn back in. So back to the pond scene. This has been a known killer for that topwater action. You can go slow, you can go a little bit faster. You can flick the rod, and you can go flick, 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 all the way in. You can flick, flick, pause. You know, there's a lot of different cadences that you can actually fish with just the 4-inch fluke and topwater action. If you're fishing a slightly deeper saltwater ecosystem, you can change to the owner flashy swimmers. You can use multiple different sizes, but this is a good way to go a little bit deeper in those fisheries. So you can still choose to fish the double rig with the flashy swimmers, which allows you to run those nice and straight like this, or you can have them interchange with the flicks of the rod. You know, you're going to fish them kind of like a jerk bait, where you just give it a tap, tap, and then pause, tap, tap, and pause. But the nice part about the flashy swimmers is you can have that cadence of a jerk bait while still having a straight retrieve. It allows you a lot of play, allows you to get down a little bit deeper, and so you can fish those either open slips, you can fish a little deeper on the eelgrass, or just deeper structure in general. So though the flashy swimmer is great for single use or double use with the donkey rig. That's just one way I really enjoy fishing the slug.